The family law professors from across the state have been so actively opposed to Amendment 1 and have been speaking in so many venues because as teachers of family law, we are so concerned when the law of the family is unclear. And at a minimum, this amendment injects so much uncertainty into issues around the family.
It's not clear what impact this amendment will have. And that's the problem. The fact that we don't know exactly what Amendment 1 will do is a reason why it should not become part of the Constitution.
Rather than taking the issue of marriage out of the courts, Amendment 1 would shift to the courts the job of interpreting this very confusing amendment, and this would take years.
Only roughly a third of voters in this state now recognize that this amendment would do anything more than put the current state ban on same-sex marriage into the North Carolina Constitution. But the fact of the matter is that this amendment would do far more. It would certainly ban civil unions, it would ban domestic partnerships at the state level, and it would also ban the domestic partner insurance benefits that a number of municipalities and counties currently provide to their employees.
Many states have added unmarried partners to that list of people who can step in to make medical decisions for someone who's unable to make them for themselves. If Amendment 1 passes, it is highly unlikely that North Carolina would ever be able to pass a law recognizing an unmarried partner in such a situation.
I'm very concerned about the denial of insurance benefits to children of couples who are partners and one of them works for the state or a governmental entity. Any children who are on that policy will no longer be insured and guaranteed health benefits.
It is much more broad and vague than amendments in other states. So I think the consequences for children in the state of North Carolina will be even more detrimental.
There are children living in this state right now who will lose their insurance coverage as a result of the passage of this amendment. That is an absolute certainty.
In North Carolina, we have long taken the position that if you're the victim of domestic violence, you'll be protected regardless of whether you're married to your partner. This amendment could change that.
Now, this amendment doesn't say just a marriage between a man and a woman is the only marriage that the state will recognize. It says a marriage between a man and a woman is the only domestic legal union that the state will recognize or will even acknowledge as valid. For 3 years in Ohio, victims of domestic violence who were not married to their batterer could not use the domestic violence legislation. I'm not willing to risk one person to lose the benefit of domestic violence legislation. I'm not willing to risk one child to have to live 1 day longer in a home with domestic violence.
We can't afford to not protect our sisters, our mothers, our daughters. Frankly, it's unconscionable, and we need to vote against this amendment